Dziś odcinek w duecie i to po angielsku. Zapraszam.
Good morning, my listeners. This is BSS with No Secrets podcast, and today I have a special guest directly coming from Ukraine and directly from Kharkiv. My guest is Olga Szapowal, who is the executive director of Kharkiv IT Cluster. Good morning, Olga.
Good morning, Victor.
How are you doing
Good
today?
morning. Good. Thank you very much. Quite busy as always.
I must say, you are the first person from Kharkiv I ever know. I have met so many people from Ukraine coming from Kiev, from Lviv, for example, or Odessa, but no one from Kharkiv yet.
Great. I hope that you will visit us, and also we are open for you. And Kharkiv is very open for friends from all over the world. So we would be very happy to see you here, not only online, but also offline.
And how big is Kharkiv?
In Kharkiv, their population of Kharkiv is 1.5 million people. And also Kharkiv is very interesting city. It's very big city for Ukraine and for European sizes, for example, average city for Europe. But also we have our region, a Kharkiv region, and it's also about 1.5 million people. So in Kharkiv region, Kharkiv plus Kharkiv region, it's about 3 million of people, Ukrainians.
Okay. So it's very similar to Warsaw. Warsaw is more or less probably the similar numbers. But for those one who don't know the geography well, Kharkiv is located on the east part of Ukraine, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
In the east.
Okay, Olga, you are standing on the front of a very interesting organization, which is Kharkiv IT Cluster. If I'm not wrong, you are already 5 years old. Yeah, it was established in 2015.
Yeah. This year we celebrated our anniversary, small one, but still, and it was 5 years ago. The start of their community, of their organization.
Can you share some information how it was? Why did you create the cluster? Was it a special purpose of it, and how big is the cluster at the moment?
Thank you for your question. So Kharkiv IT Cluster was created in the very hard times for Ukraine, and it was time of this starting of war, starting of this unstable economic situation, and it was changing in our government, and it was a lot of changes in our life because we lost Crimea, we lost our territories in Donetsk and Lugansk. And also Kharkiv, it's very near to Russian border. It's 40 kilometers for the Russian border from our region. And that's why in that period of time, our main clients, United States, for example, and Canada also, they set up here, so to say, red alert and put Kharkiv region to the risk zone and stop any business activities with our companies. It was also because of very active media anti-policy from the Russian Federation, and that's why it was very hard for companies to promote and to make things going like it used to be. And in that period of time, 6 companies, they understand that one company, it's one even big company can't make something like on the international way, in the international area. But NGO some non-profitable, some public organization, some community, he could make it. And our company, 6 companies, it was Altexsoft and SARS. It was not big companies, it was like medium and medium companies, medium size. Altexsoft, Insart, Promoda, Sloboda Studio, Telesense, and Videal. They started and created this community, this non-profit, public, idea-based organization. And the first point was to remove those red alerts from the Kharkiv, because we had no war on the Kharkiv region area. Everything was stable. Everything was very stable, and internet was working. Students were going to the universities. Companies were working, and everything was quite good and stable. And cluster, from the one side, it begins to grow, and from the other side, cluster begins its active work to cooperate and collaborate with consuls, with different ambassadors, and with authorities of other countries, just to make clear communication and to write different letters, and also to communicate with our national government, just to remove those red alerts and give IT business opportunity to work. And in half a year, everything was perfect, and red alerts were removed from the Kharkiv area. Our airport began to work. It also was very important to cooperate with international business. So cluster starts its activity in those directions like it goes now, but maybe in smaller size, because that time it was like first year it was 25 companies in Kharkiv IT cluster, Kharkiv IT community.
So there were 6 companies in the very beginning, 25 in the first year. And how many of companies do you have at the moment after 5 years of running the cluster?
Now we have more than 70 IT companies like our members. And also we have something about 50 partners of cluster. Our partners are universities, leading universities, businesses which provide services for IT companies, other authorities from and public organizations from Ukraine, not from Ukraine, because we are just developing this network to make our mission possible. Our mission is to develop environment for technological business, and we are making it here, and we are making it all over Ukraine, and also our activity all depends on our international partners, because also our international activity is very important for our members.
You mentioned the universities, because generally clusters usually is the cooperation between business and the academic society.
Yeah.
Can you give some examples how this relationship with the universities look like? What do you do together?
Thank you. So if we speak about cluster, yes, we work like a cluster, like in classical way. So we unite community of leading IT companies, universities, and other educational institutions, because we have colleges, we have schools, this part of education, and also local authorities and national governments in order to focus on common key objectives. And now we have, for Kharkiv IT cluster, we have six common objectives, and one of them, the main one, is education, because we think and we believe that education and human capital development is main area for IT business development, for stable IT business development. It's very important. And for this, we need to work with our educational projects from IT industry with different educational institutions. We're working with schools, for example, providing proper orientation for kids. It's providing with our, we have a special methodology for proper orientation games. It's only making by like gamification, because with school children, it's not very effective to work like in lecture format or something like this. So we make games, a lot of games. It's like last year through our games came about 1,500 school children, for example. And we work in Kharkiv and in Kharkiv region also. And we providing with our expertise our neighboring region, because we have also companies from, for example, the Donetsk region, because they have no like a center now. That's why we providing our experience, sharing our knowledges with them. And also we have many projects for students, for universities. And Kharkiv is their heart of technology education of Ukraine, because we have their most powerful educational area. We have 18 universities and institutions which prepared specialists for IT industry. It's like our historical point, because it's like it was when it was USSR. Kharkiv was like a third place after Moscow and after St. Petersburg for the quantity, for this technological engineers. For that time it was different production, but now all those universities, they prepare IT specialists for IT industry in different area. But still it's not enough. Every year industry grows up to 30%, 25-30% each year. And for example, if in 2018 industry need something about 7,000 people additionally, now Kharkiv is something about 35,000 of IT specialists, and we need 7,000. From universities, we receive only 3.5 people. And that's why we like Cluster working for the promo and working to promote those our universities to our students and future students. Yeah. So we are working a lot with educational programs. And in Kharkiv, in universities, we have more than 100 educational programs for IT specialists. And all of those programs are renewed and also work with their IT companies. And now we are working a lot with also educational programs, and we are working with professors and with teachers because their knowledges also need to be more modern sometimes, and not always they can and have such a opportunity to go through past some education or to work in some practical areas. So we have like our projects, like for example, Professors to IT or Pro Club, just to share our expertise inside community, inside IT companies with those teachers or professors, and also get from them their knowledges and their expertise in teaching, in mentoring, in some communication with students, because this mentoring is very important also when you are working in company and you are just finished your education in university. So just it's like a sharing expertise from one side to the other.
You mentioned 3,500 graduates from universities, but this is not for the whole Ukraine, but just for Kharkiv area.
For Kharkiv, yeah.
Jesus, I'd like to hear that this is only in Poland. This sounds like a huge number. Come on, 3,500 people. It's a big number.
You know, it's a big number, but Kharkiv is like capital of youth of Ukraine, because we have from the 1.5 million people, 400,000 people is people less than 21 years old.
Whoa.
So it's very young. It's very young city. And if in common, we will take in common. So we like educational capital, yeah. We have every year 64,000 people who are graduated from universities.
Whoa,
So it's very big.
64,000.
Yeah. And only 3.5 it's like IT specialists. And for us, it's like a big gap between our needs and between this amount of graduates.
Okay, and if you were to compare the Ukrainian cities where the IT industry is growing, so Kharkiv would be on the top of the list or on the second, third position? How does it look like? Because there are probably 5 or 6 main cities where the industry is located. How Kharkiv is located between the others?
Of course, our capital, Kyiv, it's like it stands like separately from all those ratings, because like in the capital of Ukraine also, and in the capital of every country, it's like some companies, big companies, international companies. But among the regions, Kharkiv took the first place. Of course, after Kyiv, we are the second one, but among the cities, we are on the first place. It's like our share is about 14-15% now, and the third place it's like took our partner. It's Lviv. It's about 8 or 9% from all subtotal of IT specialists. Also in Dnipro and in Odessa, we have some communities, and in Dnipro it's like more active maybe. In Odessa it's like more complicated situation with community, but still IT companies are working there. And of course we have many small cities which also have some strong IT community, like Cherkasy, for example, or Kanatop. It's like small city, but still it's very active in their IT life of IT community inside of Ukraine.
Okay, so the top 3 is Kyiv as the capital, but we don't count, let's say, capital in the whole group. Then it's Kharkiv, Lviv, and Dnipro, and then the others. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's come back to your cluster, and if you could share some info about your main initiatives besides this cooperation with universities, because this was quite clear. And to be honest, I'd like to have 64,000 graduates per year in one city. That probably in Poland we don't have it across the whole country. So it sounds really amazing. But what are the other initiatives of Cluster which you run?
Thank you very much for this question. It's really important for us. So now, before COVID, we had 5 strategic directions for their Kharkiv IT Cluster projects and initiatives, because we have now more than 50 different projects in different directions, but we should have focus to make it in really good, with really good results. So education is our main part, but also it's very important when we have educated people. It's very important to promote our region, to promote our companies, in order to have good clients here in Ukraine, and also to have a good specialists, because like Kharkiv, like Silicon Valley of Ukraine, we just promote Kharkiv for other IT specialists all over Ukraine, and maybe future specialists like future students. And also we are promote, so marketing and promotion is like our main task. And we also have many communications with different international organizations and with different authorities all over the world to promote our IT business and to promote our active position of IT community in order to get new clients, new contracts, new partners, and it's very important for our community also. And then when we have educated people and they have contracts, something to do, we will need some infrastructure for them, comfortable offices, comfortable homes, and also this safety environment between those two places. So the third, our focus is infrastructure and smart city development. We have our partnership projects with leading developers of real estate for their office buildings and IT parks. And also we have now very big project in Kharkiv. It's Ecopolis. It's very big project for almost 500,000 square meters. Very big and very long project, but we have now around 20 projects, real estate offices projects, for which are reconstructed or built under construction, or just new one for the IT industry. And also we have our partnership projects for their real estate for life, like apartments, like we have two cottage cities, small one, like satellites near the Kharkiv, and inside the Kharkiv. And it's also like a part for living, part of Kharkiv for living, for IT specialists, for IT community. It's also very important. And about smart city, it's a project of our city, Kharkiv City Council. And we took part in this project like a partner with also other partners, Vodafone and our Cisco, many of international companies. And our companies take place in this activity in order to make Kharkiv more safe and more transparent, and make all city management also more transparent. It's e-democracy and something like this. And then when we have all those very important things, we have places to live, places to work, educated people, contracts. We need some safe environment according our law and legal procedures. So we have our fourth direction, it's GR and legal. We have our lawyers who are helping our members and making a lot of events for them, and making some also they provide them with some information about their business. And we have Q&A service when some company could set up some question and get some answer or consulting from our lawyers. And also we have a lot of communications with governments in order to protect interests of IT business from, for example, if we have some not very legal things from our institution, governmental institution, like from police or something like this. And also, of course, we have a very strong cooperation with other clusters and IT Ukraine Association in the lobbying of our interests on the national level, because also it's very important things like taxes, like regulation of our communication and all contracts with contractors, for example, and everything like business structure, we need to protect it. So it's like a very important part and very big part of our cluster activity. And also when we have all those, we are protected, we have offices, homes, people, contracts, we need to make like a networking, because it's very important to have networking inside communities. The main values are like we make an impact, we making like we provide protection, but we need to communicate with each other. So we have a lot of networking events, of course, like in the times of COVID, it's not so active like in offline format, but also we have it on online format. And this autumn, I hope that we will just find some way to make it like blended format, online and offline. And we have also some values. We are trying to create some value, some direct value for our members, for our community, for our industry. So we have like a package of direct value. We have our discount program, special discount program, which it's like a mobile app for iOS, for Android. It's provided by one of our members. It's called IT Loyalty, and we have more than 4,000 people who are just making every day some drinking coffee, for example, or going to fitness club, get our discounts. And also we have a lot of special propositions from our partners, from banks, from medical insurance, for example, for our community, because it's very important. Medical, for example, some insurance companies, they are looking at us like not like for community, as big enterprise with 10,000 people, and give us very good prices for the medical insurance. That's why we can create value for our members. And it was 5 directions. And this year it was new challenge for us when COVID came to Ukraine. It was like a new challenge because it was very unstable times, and we needed to help our medical people and medical institutions just to work in this unstable period. And we just Ukraine, it was like not in the beginning of this story, but in the middle. And we just were shocked, like when we see United States and Italy, and it's like developed companies, developed countries, not like Ukraine. Ukraine is like we are just not the leading company in the side from the point of view of economy, for example, yes, or level of medicine. But still, it was really a huge challenge. So our companies, they reacted very quickly, and we created a new project, new direction. We called it IT for Life, and we created to help different medical institutions. We provide them with different protect things like masks and different everything, because we have no masks like everywhere. We just but we bought a lot of protective things. Then we bought a lot of equipment, very important equipment. We also created infrastructure, special equipment to just avoid some problems for people when they are coming to our medical institutions. And then also we are helping a lot we provide help for the old people because it was also very critical situation for them in order to buy food, for example, something like this, and we provided, our companies provided. And also we provide like technical issues for equipment, for the medical equipment, which already exists in our hospitals, because it was a lot of equipment, but it does not work, and we are helping with this also. So in 3 weeks, and also of course we provide testing for our specialists, testing at home, and we make web portal where they can just put their email, and then we just provide everything, all service to make this test and to avoid any stress for them, because all industry in the COVID times worked on the remote. So it was very important to just avoid some additional stress for our people. So, and I think that in first 1 month, it was the main activity, and it was like 7 million hryvnias. It is 250 maybe $1,000 provided by IT industry to Kharkiv IT region hospitals and for medicals. And thanks to this activity, we avoid such big numbers of illnesses in the beginning of this story. And now this IT for Life project. Just
one question. So it means that the cluster was somehow a coordinator of those activities, and the project was named IT for Life.
Yes. Okay. And it's also helping companies. It was not only cluster companies, because we have in Kharkiv, we have about 500 IT companies who are actively working. In cluster, we have 70, but it's like a paying our membership fee. But we communicate with all community, and that's why we have in this project, we have, I think, 35 companies, something like this, who are actively contributing in this project. And half of them, it was Kharkiv IT Cluster companies, and half of them were not Kharkiv IT Cluster companies. It was Kharkiv IT companies, but they are providing us with the help because they know that we are really idea-based organization, and it was like a trust that it will be really a good thing, and it was really inspirable for us.
Yeah, it sounds really impressive, to be honest, that such industry like IT has involved the companies to be so supportive in these hard times. And I really must say that this is first time I heard that a certain industry did engage so much. Usually what we hear is those are rather the initiatives of either government or local governments or so on. But it looks like the private companies did a really fantastic work. So it's good for you. I would like to come back to one topic about your members and the markets or the services they do provide services, because I can imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, that most areas of business activities are abroad. So those companies rather do not provide, or if they do provide, then in a limited scale, services to local market, which is the Ukrainian market, but mainly deal with the international clients. And having that in mind, what are the main markets where the services are provided? Is it Europe or States or Asia, or how does it look like?
Mm-hmm. So you are absolutely right. For our IT companies, only 5% of clients are going from the Ukraine, and 95% of sales is sales abroad. The main client, if we speak about countries, of course, for us, it's United States. It's like 75% of common sales.
Whoa.
And something about 20% is countries of European Union. And we also, our companies work a lot, some companies work a lot with Asia, with Israel, also with Australia and with Japan, for example. But it's in common, if we speak about common industry, of course, United States and European Union are the main countries and clients for them, for our industry.
Okay, yes, so mainly US and then European Union. And in this European Union, any specific countries?
We are working a lot with Germany, with Austria. We're working a lot with northern countries, with Sweden, with Norway, and other countries. We are working also a lot with Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
And our companies, if we speak about, for example, providing services, of course, outsourcing, we are like Ukraine, like leader of outsourcing in Europe. But still now outsourcing living under transformation, in the transformational period of time, because if we yesterday it was like clear outsourcing, now it's more looks like providing solutions for different industries. We have also companies, big companies like 2,000 people, 3,000 people, 7,000 people. If you in Ukraine, in Kharkiv, it's like for example, NIC Solutions, it's 2.5 thousand people, or SoftServe, or EPAM, Global Logic, Sigma Software. It's like big companies with thousands of people, and they're providing different services and different solutions. Not like just outsourcing, but also different solutions for different industries. And we have a lot of medium and small enterprises and very high level enterprises, IT companies who are providing very good services, for example, in data science and with working with AI technologies and with different technologies, like with different areas. For example, like Altexsoft, where they are working a lot of with data science, or like quantum company, also they are working a lot with it. Or for example, some of our companies working fintech area, like in Start, for example. It's not a very big companies in the like thousands of people, but still they're working very good services and providing very good solutions for different areas. And also, for example, our companies providing web or services, or providing mobile, making, for example, we have a company who are working with banking all over the world. It's iTomich Studio, for example, and they work with Great Britain, they work with Bahrain, with very different countries, but in this particular area, like mobile and, for example, banking. And now it's like a transformation from their outsourcing to this services industry, to this solutions industry. Of course, we have some product companies, but it's not like it's about 10% of whole industry.
Mm-hmm. We are over 40 minutes already of our talk, but I still have two questions which I would like to ask. And one of them is that let's say that I am an international company who is looking for some service provider and I am reaching you. So how can you as a cluster help me in finding a proper company, for example, for the software development services? How do you work with such questions coming to you from abroad?
Now we are working in two ways. The first way we have on our website, it-Kharkiv.com. I will provide it. We have all our research. We have every year we make big research about our IT companies, and it's very clear with information which spheres, which niches, which technologies our companies are providing. And also in this research you can find more information about leading IT companies in the region. And I will provide it with you with the link. And the second one is our catalog of IT companies of our region. It's like a catalog directory with all their expertise, and you can just put right filter and find good partner for your service. Also, sometimes some clients need from us to make some recommendation for some companies, and then we just make analytics and provide this client with information, more additional information about this particular IT company who are making, for example, they need some web services development. And then we just make open call for our companies, and then making like analytics about companies in size and different portfolio. And now we're working also under the new project in partnership with Clutch. It's like a portal, and they are making with us also like a part of our website. It will be like a small Clutch portal, and it will help a lot our companies to make their visibility on the international level better. So we have such a different direction to make it.
I'm smiling because we are also a partner of Clutch in here in Poland. So we have also a sub page for our members who are listed on the Clutch Pro Progressio webpage. Anyway, okay, so the last but not least, something about having fun. So what are your initiatives for your members when it comes to events and some kind of a networking initiatives? I realize that this year is different than the others, but I'm sure that for your community, if it was a regular year, you would organize some kind of a conference or some meetings. How this area does look like in Kharkiv IT Cluster?
So in Kharkiv, we have a lot of small and medium-sized events for IT specialists. But Kharkiv IT Cluster, we are providing mainly now events for C-level people, and we have our regular events. It's Kharkiv C-level meetups. It's usually in July. And we just make a big open air event where we make networking. It's like 300 of people, C-level people. It's like a closed event only with invitations. It's free of charge, but it's closed one. And also we have our second big event. It's like about 600 of C-level people from IT industry, and also from regional authorities, from national governments, from other big businesses. It's like when we present it, we are presenting results of Kharkiv IT research, our big report. And also we have our networking community events, like new members welcome, like PR community meetups inside our cluster. And last year we made big festival, music festival. It was IT Band Jam. We just found a lot of musical groups from IT, because it was only IT specialists inside them, and they are providing us 7 hours with music from their just not like some other authors' music by their own. It was very great. It was like open air event, and I think that 1,500 people attended this event, and it was really very cool with families. It was very, very nice. And of course, this COVID year, it was not so active, but now we are starting our new business season, and we will provide a lot of events and networking events like business breakfast, like legal webinars, or on offline blended events. And of course, we also have our New Yedu forum. It's educational forum. Last year it was 1,000 people online and offline. It was very big event for education, for teachers, for managers of schools and universities, and for professors. And this year it will be online, but we hope that we will provide some events also for the not very big quantity of people, but more niche events, because networking is very and fun. It's very, very important.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. I fully agree with you. We also organized a lot of events during the year, but this year, as I said, it's different. So we still look very much forward to the future, but to the close future, and hopefully we will be able to come back to this regular networking initiatives. You mentioned this IT music initiatives. It looks like the IT community in Kharkiv is very talented.
Yes, it was we were very surprised, really, because when we started, it was initiative from bottom to neck, yes, from our community, and we think that, it will be one group or two groups, and it was a lot of groups, and we made casting for them. It was really impressive. So we are hoping that we will just provide for those talented people also opportunity to share their good music with others.
And do you play any instrument?
In the past, piano. I just put some part of my life to the sport. I making fencing for the 10 years. So piano, it was like very beginning of my life.
Okay. Olga, it was a really big pleasure to have this chat with you, and my knowledge about Kharkiv IT Cluster is much, much bigger after this 45 minutes talk, and I'm really happy I had you on my show. So, and I hope that it will come the time when we will meet in person, because we were already planning it some time ago to have you in Rzeszów on one of our events. So maybe very close, it will be an opportunity to meet face to face.
Yeah, I hope to. I'm waiting for this opportunity very much.
Thank you very much, Olga. So talk to you later.
Thank you, Victor. It was a very big pleasure, and I'm very appreciated for this opportunity. Thank you very much, and thank you for everybody who were listening. Thank you. Hope to see you in Kharkiv. Kharkiv is open.
Thank you very much.
I to już koniec kolejnego odcinka podcastu BSS bez tajemnic. Dzisiaj, jak słyszeliście, miałem gościa. Była nim szefowa charkowskiego klastra IT Olga Szapowal. Już niebawem kolejne wywiady w cyklu W duecie z, a między nimi inne odcinki podcastu BSS bez tajemnic. Zapraszam serdecznie Was do subskrypcji i uczmy się więcej o świecie nowoczesnych usług dla biznesu. Na razie, cześć!